Welcome aboard, fellow speed enthusiasts, to the Flying Lap F1 News. I'm your host, Jack, and it's time to switch on the DRS and race into the world of Formula One. We've got some pretty big news in the paddock to talk about today, so buckle up as we get this show on the road. Today's Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. Big news is hitting the F1 airwaves as Adrian Newey, the legendary designer behind Red Bull Racing's meteoric rise to the top, has finally confirmed the rumours we've all been talking about. After nearly 2 decades of calling the shots on the technical front and steering the team through seas of champagne, Newey is gearing up to leave Red Bull. Let's ruminate on the impact of this transformational figure. Newey's engineering mastery has been the wind in Red Bull's sails, leading them to a whopping 13 titles over 20 seasons. From sketching out cars that turned the tarmac into their playground, Newey has been the cornerstone of Red Bull's success stories. But it's not just about accolades and podiums. His legacy transcends championship trophies and winners' garlands. It's the story of a kid with a dream of designing fast cars who not only realized, but revolutionized that dream. As the whispers of unrest swirled within the Red Bull team, the paddock was brewing with speculation. Christian Horner, who has been Newey's counterpart and friend, is left applauding the epical career that saw Newey go from a superstar designer to an enduring legend of Formula One. But friends, what's next for the maestro? Newey's remaining time at Red Bull will focus on the RB17 hypercar, a swan song of technical wizardry. However, once he steps away from his drawing board at Milton Keynes, the big question looms. Where will this F1 titan land next? Ferrari is flexing its muscles, Aston Martin is peeking over the pit wall, and the entire motorsport world can't help but wonder which cockpit Newey will be drafting designs for in the future. Newey's departure leaves a void that Red Bull's tech department, spearheaded by the likes of Pierre Wash, will strive to fill. Every team knows that a transition like this is like a pit stop. It's about precision, planning, and timing. As they prepare for the 2026 car design overhauls, Red Bull will need all hands on deck to continue their dominant streak. And while we're on the topic of future plans, let's not forget about Max Verstappen. The Dutch sensation's contract runs long, but with Newey's sketches no longer part of the blueprint, will the tides of loyalty turn, or will he keep cutting through circuits in Red Bull's livery? Speaking of rocky roads, former Haas F1 team principal Guenther Steiner is bringing some off-track drama. He's taking the team to court, accusing them of falling short on payments and taking a ride with his likeness without his consent. Steiner, the man who was the face of Haas F1 and a star on Netflix's Drive to Survive, is now in a race for recognition and recompense. Red Bull and Haas, 2 teams, 2 tales of change. One shakes up the leaderboard, the other shakes the headlines. But both remind us that in F1, the only constant is the checkered flag that ends each race. Everything else? Well, that's as changeable as the weather at Spa-Francorchamps. And with that final lap around today's F1 circuit, we're waving the checkered flag on this episode of the Flying Lap F1 News. I'm your host, Jack, wishing you speedy travels and even speedier returns. Tune in next time for your high-octane update on all things Formula One. Until then, keep your wheels on the asphalt and your eyes on the prize. Over and out.